They took a sample of 1,300 teenagers and people between the ages of 13 and 26. And these are some of the key findings that they found for teenagers, and it was a little bit shocking. They found that 40% of teens said that they had sent or posted sexually suggestive messages about themselves. 40%. And this is teens that would admit to doing this. They found that 20% of the teens had posted nude or semi-nude photos of themselves. 48% of teens admitted sharing sexual messages, nude photos they had received with their friends. So that means that if a teenager received a nude or a sexually explicit message, 48% of them admitted to then sharing that with someone else. So just think about that. That's a pretty high number. 51% of the teens in the study said that they felt pressured to send sexual types of messages. And 76% of teens felt that sending or posting sexual messages and pictures had negative consequences. Why do you think? If 48% of people who receive that type of message are then sharing it, obviously, you know, teens are starting to see that, you know, the ramifications are negative and that it's really awful. 92% of the teens reported experiencing some form of regret when they engaged in this type of behavior. So it was pretty shocking to me to read that, you know, that these percentages were pretty high. And when you think about studies, some kids aren't even that or completely honest when they're divulging this type of information. So, and I have some definitions here that I don't know if maybe you can read these. In your packet, there's a page that has these definitions, but there's three main types of crimes that happen online with children. And the first one is cyberbullying. And the definition of cyberbullying, it says it involves the use of information and communication technologies to support deliberate, hostile, repeated behavior by an individual or group. It is intended to harm others. Okay? The second major type of crime that happens online is a stalker or a predator. The definition of a stalker or a predator is an adult internet user who watches or exploits vulnerable children or teens, usually for sexual and or other abusive purposes. So that's the definition. And then identity theft, which we're seeing more and more of. It's the crime of obtaining the personal or financial information of another person for the purpose of assuming that person's name and to make transactions or purchases. So identity theft can involve financial things, reasons for financial gain, or just for other reasons as well. Can anybody think of an example that you've seen maybe on the news where either cyberbullying or identity theft or a predator, do we hear these stories?
The girl who was new in the school, and the girls were jealous of her and were posting things on Facebook, and
Well, the boy who had his boyfriend come to school, in his room, and his roommate videotaped him, and he committed suicide.
So how does it make you feel when you hear things like that? It's scary, and it shows you the power that the internet and that these media influences have on our life, and it deeply affects the youth, especially I think because they're just so emotional, and they're going through that phase of becoming more independent, and they just take things very seriously if they feel attacked on themselves, and they'll take it to the extreme. Okay, so my question is, how do we know if these types of crimes are happening? When is it necessary to go to the police? Does anybody have any ideas of when you should contact the police if you're worried about something?
Well, it depends what's involved, but I mean, if you see a change in your child, and I mean, the police is really strong, because I mean, you're with friends, you can go to the parents, you can talk with the friends or whatever, but I mean, sexual predator, yeah, then you go to the police, or I mean, you hear parents even who pretend to be somebody else and bully a certain kid. You see, and that are well, cases you go to the police for.
Well, obviously, I just wanted to say it's definitely okay to contact the law enforcement and be wrong and have them tell you, no, that's not really a big deal. I would much rather do that and be on the safe side than kind of be scared to approach the police. But basically, you need to analyze the situation and assess and see the severity of what's happening. You want to see the nature and the severity of the threats. How often is this happening? What type of language is being used? Did it only happen one time, or is it increasingly getting more? The frequency of the threats. Does it involve just one person who's bullying, or is there like some type of hate group involved, or a group of people? So basically, the idea is the greater the threats, the greater the episodes or the occurrences, the higher incidents that this is happening, it's probably, time for you to contact the police. And any time that you believe that an adult is communicating with your child, even if there isn't any sexual content yet, if there is some adult speaking with your child that you have no idea who that is, I would definitely contact the police right away. It's better to go with your gut and trust your instincts and be safe. And they're not going to be mad at you. They may not follow up with the investigation, but at least you're doing your part to protect your child. And I think that's the best thing every time. Okay, if you could turn in your packet, there's the yellow. Take a minute and see if you can fill some of those out.
Oh my gosh.
Is there somebody that knows at least 5, do you think? Good. Okay, I'm going to put them up, just hopefully we can see. Do you want me to read them, or can you see them?
Can you read them?
Yeah, I'll read them.
I don't see that anywhere.
Okay, so CUO means see you online. MUSM, miss you so much. BF or GF, boyfriend, girlfriend. ASL is age, sex, location. TAW is teachers are watching. PIR, parents in room. WU, what's up? IDK, I don't know. TMI, too much information. BRB is be right back. WTGP, want to go private. SN is screen name. And LMIRL is let's meet in real life. And these are only a few, and teenagers, there's a trend that they're also kind of creating their own code words. So some of them aren't even using the real letters to stand for what it means. So, that begs the question, what do we need to do as parents to be informed and to protect our kids?